With everything going on, it doesn't look like signings are too far away from Manchester United. We're hearing from a few reports that we could have 2 signings in next week. United confident on both Zirkzee and Ligt and getting them finalised and over the line. We've got more reports on the ripple effect from not Bayern Munich selling players, but Bayern Munich buying players. Paulinho has been confirmed today from Fulham, and now rumours have started to circulate again on Scott Mctominay. 3 defenders in, 3 defenders out. Could it be the same with midfielders as well, with reports of Casemiro going, now Scott McTominay? Could we be getting Agate? Could we be getting João Neves as well? Zirkzee confirmed. How many players are United going to actually bring in? All of the updates on all of the speculation, the rumours around transfers, as well as an update on the staffing situation at Manchester United. I've done a little bit of questioning myself and finding out some information from what's going on behind the scenes there with people that I know. Really interesting read from Martin Ziegler as well as to why Manchester United are cutting these costs and getting rid of staff and why it came about in the first place. Who was to blame for the overcrowding staffing situation at Manchester United? There's a finger pointing at one particular man. I'm going to get into that as well. Get your likes in on the video, please, everybody. Do subscribe to Forever United TV. I'm Adam. We are live. Sorry, it's a little bit earlier today. Bit of a change of plan. Yeah, it's just crazy well the Euros are on, and I've got a few things to do myself, so we're going a little bit earlier. No bother, no drama. Still get your comments in, and get your comments in after the show is finished as well, guys. And let's get into what's actually going on, starting with obviously the story and the stories of how many players United are going to bring in and when them players are going to come in and why. Now, Zirkzee and De Ligt are double Dutch, like we said in the title. Manchester United feeling very, very confident that both of these players will be over the line very soon. Obviously, the likelihood of Holland going through into the semi-finals, you could say 50-50. Could Turkey look quite decent? I feel like the stories are being put out there simply because we have got a lot of work to do. Everybody's looking for a headline. Everybody's looking to actually be the first to actually announce it. I've spoken with my guy who does give us some information. There's no medicals booked yet at Manchester United, but told that there will be soon. Now, what does soon mean? How long is soon? And everything like that. Is it going to be straight after the Euros? Are we going to be able to get anyone done while the Euros are going on? I don't think we will, personally, and I can understand why. Like, how are you going to take a player away from an international squad? Like, as soon as these tournaments finish, and we're both at the same stage now, Copa America, quarterfinals, the Euros, quarterfinals, we're into the semis after this weekend, and obviously we are going to get another 4 teams drop out from both sides of them competitions. There may be some United targets in there that drop out. There may be some United players in there that drop out, and we could start to see how pre-season starts to shape up, because as soon as the Euros finishes, obviously, actually, pre-season starts before the Euros finishes. So pre-season officially and players coming back, which is next week, is around the semi-final time. So, yeah, the Euros are still going to be going on while players are coming back into pre-season and already training. It's crazy. Tom Porter, thanks for that donated membership. That's gone to Ian Robertson. Thank you, Tom, and welcome to the Members Club. Ian, absolute legends. Love my mods, love my members that are in here, and welcome. We love you too now, Ian, as well. Make sure you thank Tom in the chat as well. But yeah, De Ligt's at a stage, and the updates fully on that right now. We talked about it a little bit this morning, but the situation is that Bayern Munich are willing to work with 34 million plus add-ons for Manchester United to take De Ligt across. Obviously, they have now brought in Elise and Paulinho. They need to balance their books now and need to move quite fast. It was rumoured today, and actually pictures today, so it's facts, not a rumour actually. I don't know why I even said that, but Matthias de Ligt, and the biggest concern amongst every single Manchester United fan when talking about Matthias de Ligt was that injury record. The money, yes. Slow, yes. But the injury record, especially after last season, and the issue that we had with centre-backs and centre-back pairings that everybody's gone on about, was the injuries. And Matthias de Ligt was training away from the Dutch squad today because he felt a slight niggle or felt something. So he isn't in full training. Again, he's not playing one game this tournament. So concern straight away, and obvious panic amongst the fan base that Matthias de Ligt is another player. Like, we can see the warning signs. These medicals may be booked in at Manchester United. These medicals, I could have the work cut out for him. That's all we're saying. We haven't had an update on Agate yet either, so I'm guessing that isn't as bad as first thought with his knee injury. So good things happening there on that side of it. Obviously, Uruguay in the quarterfinals against Brazil. So it could be the fact that this weekend, when the quarterfinals are taking stage, if Fulham go out, if Uruguay go out, then expect Manchester United's transfer activity and, well, definite yeses and nos and certain confirmations coming through over the next few days, over the weekend. So that, I feel, is when we will find out. Like next week, obviously, you could say, and the people that do report these like players coming in coming into Manchester United at a certain time, like next week, like the headline says, they're probably just looking at the fixtures and going, well, they'll probably go out, they'll probably get beaten, so we're probably going to hear news because they're already on the way home, and that's when everything starts happening. The Orioles we knew was going to get in the way, so with everybody having this sort of mini panic, which there have been a few around the Man United fan base, like, we've still not signed anyone, all you're doing is talking about the good that Ineos are doing behind the scenes and getting everyone in place, but we've still not got no signings. I know we haven't, but you know that nothing happens while international tournaments are on. Oh, you could say that, but Paulinho's signed for Bayern Munich. And he's over there in Germany. So kind of, putting my foot in it a little bit there, you could say. But you can get deals done. But Paulinho made it very, very clear that his statement was, before he went to the Orioles, both clubs know exactly where I want to be playing next season. I.e., Fulham sell me to Bayern Munich. That deal was pretty much done and finalised. So, yes, that one was already set in stone. Like other deals, if you're just starting your negotiations under a new structure and obviously haven't been able to do any pre-negotiations beforehand, you're dealing with the Euros in full force, really, and you're just going to have to fight what's coming, which is a waiting game. That's all it is, the waiting game. But 34 million with add-ons. I think the price is right for United there. By all accounts, from most sources now, it's saying that United have bid exactly the same setup and structure as we did for the first bid for Jared Branthwaite. That's Manchester United's budget for defenders, and they're not moving away from it. It's basically, like I said before, it's like an NFL setup, innit? Does it fit into the wage structure? Does it fit into the money that's available to spend? It has to fit on all departments. And when you've got a structure in place, like we have now, you obviously communicate what money's there. You can buy that player for this price. You can go up to this at max. The wages won't go past this, otherwise the deal's off. They put it all together. Manchester United. I've seen a great tweet from Haber, who I know from back way when, and he said, like, I know people are moaning about De Ligt, but let's be honest. This old Manchester United regime would have already slapped 75 million on Jared Branthwaite and blew the bleeding summer budget. So really, you've got to look at it and go, we all said we were happy if United moved away from Jared Branthwaite and walked out of it because it was too much and Everton were taking the mick. So now, really, we've got our wish in a way that, you know what, Manchester United are standing firm and they're not going to buckle at a price. And they've thrown the same price in on Matthias De Ligt as well now, it seems. So that's the interesting thing in the De Ligt side of things. And looking at how Manchester United move forward with that deal, I don't think they're in any great rush. Like, they know that De Ligt only wants Manchester United. Fabrizio, like we said earlier on, has confirmed that. So the only reason he's talking to one club and one club's in is because he's made it very clear. He knows where he wants to go. He's already talked with Erik ten Hag, and he's happy to go and play for Manchester United with no Champions League football. Now, that's a win in a way for United. Look, everybody's just crossing fingers that this guy can stay fit. Like, he played less games than any of our centre-backs did last season. And the stats that have been thrown out, I've seen them on Sky today around Matthias De Ligt, are that his record is worse than every single centre-back that we've got playing at the football club. Well, the stats are higher simply because Matthias De Ligt hasn't played as many games. And Matthias De Ligt probably hasn't had as much defending to do as what our defenders have. So yes, again, agenda-driven, stat-based stuff just to go against someone or go for someone. I'm not for it. I don't give a toss about stats. I want to know if this player fits into Ten Hag's system. That's all I care about, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And Ten Hag needs to be making sure the players that come in this summer are 100% the right players. So let's just work with that and forget about the stats from a season where, yes, comparing United's worst ever Premier League season, the amount of tackles, the amount of clearances, duels and everything that was needed to be won because our midfield was being absolutely walked through against a season, yes, underperforming from Bayern Munich, but let's not even compare differences in terms of pressures on defences for United and Bayern Munich, shall we? No, let's not. Joshua Zirkzee, right now, there is still... And I go back to it, this is what's being said, like United are very confident. More communications have been had with Zirkzee, but there is a full-on sweetening up, convincing and sell mission on right now to try and get Zirkzee in at United. United full-on want him. He is still not sold. This is the hold-up on Zirkzee. And Manchester United coming out anywhere near as confident as they are with Matthias de Ligt. It's a case of Zirkzee not being fully on board with Manchester United. He has got a good offer from AC Milan, which is his preferred choice. And this keeps on coming around and coming around. So Milan are not going away. Every single report today has been that Milan are still talking with Kia Joorabchian, Zirkzee's agent, and Bologna. They want to do a deal there. They're happy to stay there. His people, his family, and Zirkzee is happy to stay in Italy. Either at Bologna or AC Milan. United are trying to drag him away, literally. And this is the problem with Zirkzee at the moment. Everything else is fine. Like United will do deals with Bologna because they are willing to meet that release clause. They're willing to pay the agent's fees. They're willing to spend over 40 million on Joshua Zirkzee. So United are still in the box seat there and are confident that with Ten Hag talking to Zirkzee and the conversations that they've had and everything that they are selling, the projects, they are confident that they can get Zirkzee done. And that could be done as soon as next week as well. They're the two that are reportedly very, very close because of the communications that have been had. And these have been probably, I can't say that de Ligt's been going on long. It's been, a week of negotiations, and we've moved very quickly with this one. Zirkzee, on the other hand, this has been going on for a few weeks now. So, yes, that's where we're at with them two. They're the main two. Let's get into some of your comments. De Ligt will be fine. He is making sure he doesn't get injured before the medical, says Michael. Rob Andrew says, linked with everybody. Again, nobody has been sold. Same old story. If we don't buy anyone, then we have the same scenario again with Erik Ten Hag. Don't worry, Andrew. Like I said before, the Euros is smack bang, well and truly getting right in the way of everything going on right now. And we just have to be patient until the tournament rolls out and finishes. We've got some big games. Like, obviously, you're confident that Holland, if you look ahead now, when can we expect announcements for players that we're looking at? I think Uruguay, give or take, that's a good game against Brazil. So that quarterfinal could tell us a lot. If Uruguay go out, or if Agate in fact gets sent home, like I said, I've not seen any report on his injury yet, whether he's going to be playing or not. So we'll have to look out for that. But in terms of Uruguay going home, obviously playing Brazil, there is a pretty good chance that they might do. I'm not saying they won't. They've got an excellent team, Uruguay, so they will be looking to get through that game. So we get through this weekend, another 4 teams drop out, then the semi-finals, I think, are on Wednesday, Thursday, or something like that. And then the final, obviously, the weekend after. So, worst case scenario, a week on Sunday, everybody's finished in the international tournaments, and everybody's on the way back home and on the way to pre-season or rest for the players that are in the international tournaments, the Copa America and the Euros, and they're going on holiday for a bit. But negotiations will then kick into gear because every single club knows they need to get their ships in order and ready to go. Because it's not just a case of doing what you want anymore. Financial fair play has got such a vice grip on all of Europe right now that everybody needs to know exactly where their books are balanced and how long they can go into negotiations on a certain player if a club is only willing to accept a certain price. Do they get an inclination that that club may drop the price and the player's wages are affordable? They have to balance their time right now in getting ready because they cannot overspend. No one can overspend. You're getting to a point where Everton and Nottingham Forest are in a position where they were getting docked points and it almost cost relegation. Clubs cannot afford to do this. You look at Fulham right now. Palhinha gone. That deal is done as quick as possible, so they've got the money in the bank. They know exactly how much they've got to spend. I'm going to move on to that next because there's a big link with Scott McTominay on that side of things as well. A few more of your chats on this. De Ligt, a massive risk. It can go wrong very soon, especially if we're giving big wages. We will be stoked with him like the other mistake from the previous reign. True, I see that one. Mr. Dacian Sandero, we might end up not buying anyone if we are too cautious. We will. Like I said, we will buy players. It's 100% guaranteed. I'm that confident. From the noises coming out, what I've been told, and everything like that, we will get them. Like, by the way, Manchester United, according to Fabrizio Romano, as you can see going across the bottom of your screen, I've still not ruled out buying bleeding Sofian Amrabat. Like, that tells you exactly where United are at. Like, they're looking at their targets and they're looking at their balance sheets and they're going, can we? Let's wait because we need to do this first. Sky reporting today that United are bringing in 2 centre-backs because Victor Lindelof is a very, very high possibility of going back to, like we've reported a couple of weeks ago, Fenerbahce, and back to working with Jose Mourinho over in Turkey. So that's where the situation is at. 2 centre-backs, possibly 3. If someone comes in for Maguire, United will look at the offer because they've got Todibo waiting. Now, West Ham did make a bid for Todibo, but obviously Sir Jim holds the key. Sir Jim is the key to that deal. He is the one that actually says yay or nay or is make or break with that one. So, yeah, that's where we're at with Todibo as well. Guys, please give the video a like. We're almost at that 100 mark. Thank you very much. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. We're live outside. We're live everywhere. We're live on the go. No matter what happens, the news breaks. Bang. There's that red button. Adam is live. Forever United TV. Get involved, guys. We're always bringing your comments up in the chat as well. Boxing Straight Talk says, I'd rather us buy nobody than bring in Crocs on 180 grand a week. Talking about Matthias de Ligt on that one there. Lion's opinion, this myth of de Ligt not being quick enough, neither is Leach. Leach is quite quick, mate. He is. But if you can read the games, then you can be gate to pace. Also, we have a sweeper keeper, and the high line will help the trio. Well, the keeper isn't a sweeper. I hope he turns into it. We've talked about this before, Lions. Like, I thought we were buying Onana to be a sweeper keeper. He did none of that last season. We played very deep, covering Maguire most of the time. And we had a big gap in midfield and defence, or from midfield to defence. I'm all for playing the high line. I think we've got enough. Like, the fullbacks should be quick enough to cover when needed. And Onana needs to get out of his bleeding box. But that's on Ten Hag to train that into him. That is the key to it all. The goalkeeper is the one with the keeper's the one. He's got the key to the high line. He has to be absolutely on it. Otherwise, you're going to end up having the same problems like people have said, like we did last season. Like, buying defenders is not going to make a difference if we don't play the right system. That's what's being said. Needed pace for a high line, says Jovat. Evening to you as well, David. Andrew says, well, we can't afford another season with transfer mistakes. I'm hoping United know what they are doing. Look, I can hear everyone's worries, but you just need to remember, like, officially the transfer window is only just opened a few days. And we've only just seen significant moves now, like Elise, like Polina to Bayern Munich. They've set everything going. They've got the balls in motion. Luckily for us, it's them that have spent over 100 million already and are looking to sell their players. So they're probably going to be able to negotiate with us for matches to Ligt, and we can get this deal wrapped up quite quickly. At least get one player in for Varane leaving the football club. Sahil, welcome to the members club, gifted by legend Mr Tom Porter. Love that, mate. Again, second one of the night. Thank you, mate. Moving on to, we just talked about Polina there and Scott McTominay. Now, obviously, we know that Scott was a target for Fulham right at the end of the last summer window because Fulham had done a deal with Bayern Munich. But because the transfer window in Germany shut at 5 o'clock, Fulham had to pull the plug on the Polina deal because they couldn't get a replacement in time. Now, Polina's gone. We just talked about that a minute ago. And obviously, now Fulham are in the market for another midfielder to replace Polina. Now, Scott McTominay has played a variety of roles in midfield this season. He's been at 10, he's been at 8, he's been at 6, he's been all over the bleeding show. He's even been at striker. He knows the full spine. It's that way. But Fulham are well and truly interested. There was another report, I didn't think anything of it, but a couple of clubs, including Fulham, and I think there was another one, I can't remember who it was now, looking to spend upwards of near 40 million on Scott McTominay. There's your taxi, mate. See you later. Like, if that price ever came in, I don't think it would. We don't know. Like, Ineos may drive a hard bargain and get that out of the Scott McTominay deal. We don't know. But I would be absolutely over the moon if someone offered that amount for Scott McTominay, because that's 100% profit, and that's straight into the transfer coffers and United being able to get the 2 centre-backs they need, then move forward into the midfield and start to really build a team for Ten Hag going into next season. That is the ultimate goal in all of this. Like, can we get rid? Like, Scott McTominay is an easy sell. The only reason that he is still at United is because he's been a United Academy graduate. He loves the club. Everybody loves Scott McTominay. Every manager that's been at the club loves Scott McTominay, and he gives absolutely everything to the shirt. I cannot fault the man for his effort and his discipline in and around Manchester United. I just see him as that player that is good to have around for young players coming through. He has had an impact off the bench, and as a squad player, you can't really fault Scott McTominay last season. Not as a starter, definitely not for me. I've made that point clear, but Scott is an easy sell for United. Why? Because he's on low wages, and he's got 1 year left. He knows the Premier League. So selling to a Premier League club for Scott McTominay and United is one of the easiest sells. Like, it'd be the same scenario for Mason Greenwood if he wasn't a knobhead off the pitch, because he's on low wages again. Like, I think Scott's on like 60 grand a week or something. Mason Greenwood's on 75 grand a week. These are easy to negotiate for teams and bring them players in. The problem we've had before is because we've had players on such high wages they don't want to leave, and clubs looking to buy Man United players actually can't afford their wages or be able to get anywhere near matching them wages that they're on at United. So again, Scott McTominay is an easy sell because clubs can afford him. 1 year left. Clubs can afford 25-30 million, which I think is Scott's price range with 1 year left to go. Wages for clubs, someone's going to pay Scott 50 to 60 grand a week, I think, no problem on a 4-year deal. He's still young enough. He gets up and down. He plays a variety of roles in midfield. He is a perfect sell for United. Now, obviously, we have to be able to replace him if he does get sold. That's the big issue. Cheers for the likes, guys. Well over 100. Keep them flying in, please. Let's get up to 150, everybody. Be happy. We've not signed any players yet, but we're close, apparently. But yeah, back to Scott. What do you reckon, guys? Actually, I'm going to do a poll on Scotty. Let's just see. Sell Scott now. Poll is up. Simple, straightforward one. Should we sell Scott McTominay right now? Babs is in the house. Sorry I'm late. It took me ages to connect. Hello, everyone. Hello to you too, Babs. Hope you're well. Wondering why you can't connect. Scott was on 80 a week, but had 25% pay cut. So whatever that works out at. I heard he was on less, mate, to be honest, even than that. I mean, let's be honest. These guys are taxed up to their eyeballs anyway, aren't they? I mean, that doesn't matter to us, but Scott's one of the lowest paid players at the football club. Let's just put it that way. I think he will understand and know that going to another club, he's going to have to take a pay cut, and maybe even be on the same wages. At the age he is, I do believe that someone will pay him 50, 60 grand a week, Scott McTominay, definitely. So we'll see. I still think there's a great opportunity for United there. If we get right stable backline this summer, I think this season we will see the real Onana, says Jonathan. That's in replying to Boxing Straight Talk. Robert says, Andrew was in BM stores buying paint. My excuse, and I wasn't eating chicken in Maryland. Bit slow. Okay, completely irrelevant. Thanks for that, Robert. If Trashford gets 25 goals, it means he has... It means he has not been crossing the ball, says Charles. What system do you want to play, Charles? That's the thing. It's up to Ten Hag, that. Right. Love Scooby-Doo, but can't get the money in for him. Love Scooby-Doo. Is that Scott? It must be. Yes. If not Zirkzee, Whelan, then of course Ivan Toney. We'll see. We will see. Ivan Toney is a bit old. I don't know if he fits in. I understand the pluses in Ivan Toney, but again, I'm not too sure. Not too sure. I don't think Ineos will go for Toney. I think he'll end up being in a Champions League club. Hopefully that'll be us next season, but we have to wait until then, don't we? But yeah. Right, moving on. Need to get on with the other part of the news, which was Manchester United. Apparently Manchester United are going to make tens of millions in the staff cuts. The interesting read on this came from Martin Ziegler. Manchester United's 1,150 strong workforce is thought to be the biggest of any football club in the world. Only United. And it will be cut by 250 employees this summer after a review instigated by Sir Jim Radcliffe. First bit from Martin Ziegler. The second bit, there is a belief that the leadership during the era of Ed Woodward was the executive vice chairman put too much emphasis on commercial growth. Now, we know that. The finger well and truly being pointed at the numpty that had no football experience at all, that said United could do things in the transfer window only teams could dream about doing, was at fault, and the reason why all these people right now are doing a job that is not relevant to Manchester United succeeding on the pitch. i.e. Sir Jim Ratcliffe coming in, taking sporting control and fleecing the place of staff. Now, people happily going along doing their jobs, working away at the football club with no idea what's about to hit them. Really, what are Ineos going to do? It's not fair on them. It's not fair on the people that are working there. Again, a circumstance of a poorly run football club from an old regime. That's what Manchester United are. That's what this football club has been dealing with in these last few months. Trying to rectify issues around how Manchester United used to be run. The staffing situation, we've talked so much recently about how much has changed at United, and it's gone from top to bottom. Now we're finding the bottom end. 800 staff were in the meeting with Jean-Claude Blanc when they were told. Now, I've been told by a guy who knows a lot inside, saying it is absolute carnage inside Manchester United staffing wise at the moment. Nobody's got any idea what's going on. I don't even know if after this meeting people knew, or they're going to find out over the next few days. I then spoke to someone who I know who works alongside the players. He's one of the welfare guys at the football club, and he is completely in the dark. He has no idea. His response to me was, fingers crossed, we're okay. And these guys are the ones that I actually know that work and are alongside players dealing with their media duties and stuff like that. And it's... You do feel sorry. You feel really sorry for them, because these guys that I know, they're overworked. This department that I'm talking about right now is one that I don't think needs to be cut in any way, staff-wise. You can see it. I've been there behind the scenes. I've had the privilege to actually be in at Carrington and Old Trafford in media rooms and interview people at Manchester United, including players, staff, academy staff, and their managers. I've spoken with Erik ten Hag, as you guys already know, in press conferences many a times, and seen and spoke with these staff members in and around the press conference. The organisation that goes into it and what they have to do and how they have to look after the players is unbelievable. It is probably one of the hardest jobs going. It's like that bank holiday weekend you're in, you got to sort this out. Like, there's no control over your own life with it at all, and they haven't got a clue what's going on either, and they're like well in at Manchester United right now, and just seeing them like worrying about the jobs and everything like that just because of, again, mistakes from before, it's horrible. It really is. So yeah, you've got to look at everyone in this circumstance. Like, fans looking afar will be like, good, it's about time we cut this. But like I said, I understand that argument. We are fans, we are paying fans, we want the best service, we want the best results, we want to be entertained for our money. And Ineos feel like every single minor game, minor cuts, every little tiny bit of control they can get their hands on at the club and make it better is the way that United need to go forward. And yes, it is. It is. But still, you've got to feel sorry for people that have worked there for years that are in and amongst this now when it's not really their fault. And that's part of what you just get across there. But it is a bit of a shit show right now. Not in terms of what's going on. Like, Ineos are well on top of what's happening. But obviously, with the staffing situation, they're all over the place right now. Not knowing exactly what's happening is scary for anyone. Like, you could have been working there 10 plus years, and all of a sudden, bang, it's gone, and it wasn't your fault. That's hard to take. That is hard to take. But massive changes are happening right now at Manchester United, for the good and for the bad. I feel, especially with some people that have been unfairly treated, probably because of someone else's errors and mistakes. And you know what? Generally, like, staff that are at United that have just not been bothered, they're just there to pick up the wage. It's like you've got to be on board with the project, apparently, right now. How come you started at 6? Join late again. I did put a community post out. Sorry about that, Mike. I have a commitment after the show tonight that I need to get away for, so I do appreciate you all joining me a little bit earlier. This will be the only one now going forward. We're pretty much nearly back to normal. We've just got this weekend, Friday and Saturday, to get through, and then it's normal next week, because even the semi-finals won't get in the way of the streams, because obviously all the kickoffs are at 8 o'clock from the semi-final stage forward, so we're going to get away with that. So no real issues at all there. But I do appreciate you all still coming in and joining us. Get your comments in, guys. We've still got a little bit of time to go. I just want to get your thoughts. I put the poll up there right now. Almost 200 of you voted straight away on that. Would you sell Scott now? Like, get rid of him? And saying that, I was hoping that some of you guys would actually think as to why I said, would you sell Scott now? Like, a lot of you have said, look, we need to sell him. But I was talking about the finances earlier on, and Manchester United losing Amrabat, looking like Casemiro's going. You sell Scott McTominay, then you're under pressure to bring another midfielder in as well. And not a lot of you are confident right now, looking at the chat, about United making deals. There's a lot of moaning about actually all the talk and no walk yet, because Ineos are doing absolutely everything else but bringing players in. I did try and counteract it by saying the Euros and the Copa America is going to get right in the way of everything, but still, you're not convinced. Get voting. 80% of you would sell Scott McTominay right now. Right. Kieran says, I understand it's sad to hear about the job losses, but if we look at the past decade, no one cared about the staff and doings, but he should keep those that are hard working and 10 plus year service. It's like, this is where Ineos have started. This is why Ineos, I think, have started at the top. In terms of the decision makers being the ones that have had their jobs relinquished. I mean, for me, honestly, like, I didn't lose any sleep. Wasn't concerned one bit about the Myrtos, the Arnolds of this world leaving Manchester United. It's brilliant. Like, Arnold walked away with bleeding fortune. Myrto's going to go and find another job. I don't care about them people. It's the ones that have been let go, the people working down, doing the other jobs, down the tree as such, down the pecking order, like in different departments, like driven by a football club regime to actually make money rather than focus on football on the pitch and being successful. Being driven into that area of Manchester United, that's what's not on. And that's the hard bit to take in all this. I just want us to be run good. I still haven't bought a shirt since I got oil on my shirt in 1999. Anyone who just want a shirt, just hit me up. Like, we've got a great setup with the Kitman EU, who does all of the shirts, all United shirts, international shirts, and everything. So if anyone wants a shirt at a decent price, just give me a shout. My DMs are always open on social, on X and on Instagram. Instagram's probably the easiest, to be honest. Boxing Straight Talk says, yep, let's sell a midfield that makes sure he's fit 95% of the time. We can't sell McTominay. That's just the state we are in. Wex need 100%ers. We need 100%ers, is what you're supposed to say there, yeah. I'm so frustrated with this one. I love that Ineos have done what Ineos have done regards backroom staff. Big steps forward, but for this to be our first signing is a stab in the back. Is that the Ligt stew that you're going on about there, mate? Sadiq, Adam Stott, I would like to order a new kit. Make sure you hit me up then, guys, please. I will sort you out with that one. In fact, I will, on the next stream, I'll actually put the link in for you guys on the next stream as well, so make sure you tuned in tomorrow. I'll let you all know what's going on there. Everything that I wear and everything that I've got is all from this one supplier, so yeah, can guarantee the quality of it as well, the washability of it, which is a big thing, as you know. So yeah, that's something that I will set up. Definitely for you guys as well. But yeah, please keep liking the video, guys. You're absolutely smashing it. Again, you're not far away from the 200 mark yet. Again, thank you so much for being here slightly earlier than schedule as well, guys. I'm just going to recap everything quickly as well, just to keep you guys up to date with the people that have just joined in. Manchester United looking to make 2 signings coming in next week, them being Zirkzee and De Ligt. The Ligt situation is Bayern Munich have been offered the same package that United offered Everton for Branthwaite. 34 million plus add-ons. I think Bayern Munich are actually happy with a deal worth just over 40 million. And that sounds all right for a 24-year-old. De Ligt is out training on his own. He's felt a little niggle. Don't panic, God, please. 2 signings that we're actually looking at right now, we've got serious sweats of injuries on. And it's not good because we know what happened last season, and we know we don't want to be going down that road again. Definitely not. But yeah, we're not too bad at the moment, but it can get worse. We know what it's like with United. Johnny Evans still hasn't signed that new 1-year extension yet. Word is he will, and Manchester United are looking just to add Johnny Evans there. Galatasaray, Fenerbahce are still in for Victor Lindelof. That deal can happen. Expect a lot to happen next week, and what people have been saying regarding these transfers happening next week is because every single player is reporting for pre-season from the 8th. So next week is when players come back. Obviously, then players go into discussions with team management, and everyone then starts to look towards the future. You'll start seeing players that are not going on certain pre-season tours because the club wants to sell them. All of this starts going on from next week, and discussions move forward very, very quickly. And of course, we'll have another 8 teams out of the Copa America and out of the European Championships, out of the competition and on the way home, and the players involved in them teams will obviously then be back to negotiate and deal with everything going forward in terms of transfers and moves for them players especially. But Zirkzee from the Italian side is still torn. That's the reports coming from Italy, and some more today from other English media sources as well, that he's not fully sold on Manchester United. We're doing a lot of communication. We're trying to convince the player quite a lot, whereas De Ligt's fully on board in. Agate apparently would not be an issue either. Todibo wants to come. Branthwaite wants to come. Issues with both of them. United could, and the general consensus out there in the media right now is that we will definitely be bringing in 2 centre-backs. Lindelof will be sold. That's what we're seeing and hearing a lot of. So, yeah, that's pretty much the updates on everything with them guys, on everything going on there. 18 likes away from the 200. Wow, you guys are loving it right now. Please do get them likes in. Thank you. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button as well, guys. Appreciate you all. I am going to start wrapping things up now. I'm just going to get through a few of your comments quickly. Can we trust medical staff on incoming medicals, Jack? A few people have asked that very question, especially with the news that De Ligt is coming into the football club. That is a big one. That's what everyone's concerned with. Have any United players even played 90 minutes at the Euros? Facundo Palestre has. He's been in the team of the week for the first 2 game weeks of that tournament over there in America. So, yeah, Facundo Palestre, I think, is the only one. None of the signings, apart from Agate, who went off injured against USA, and Facundo Palestre, have actually played any games. Like Zirkzee's on the bench, De Ligt's on the bench. Who else have we got there? Obviously, Todibo didn't even make the Euros. Branthwaite didn't make the Euros. Every target that we've got and coming in actually should be quite well rested if they do end up coming to Manchester United, which is a good thing as well. But yeah, that pretty much does sum everything up, guys. Legends, a lot of you. I'm off. I've got things to do. Thank you, everybody. Please give the video a like on the way out. Make sure you are hitting that subscribe button if you are here for the first time tuning in. I'm Adam. This is Forever United TV. We just bring you the news wherever we are, live, whatever position, whatever location. We get your comments in as well. Guys, get into the description as well. Join the Tifo watch-along team. We're doing both the Portugal-France game and the England game with Switzerland this weekend, guys. In the description is the link to Tifo where we do our watch-alongs. That's the platform we're doing them from. I'd love to get more of you in there as well. In there as well is the United Couple link, guy. Episode 10 is out. Click on that link in the description. Me and Kaz, all the behind-the-scenes stuff from FUTV and the United Couple and everything else going on right now in our lives, football-driven. That's out, episode 10. Get onto that as well, guys. I'm going to finish on 200 likes. I love it. I love you all. Have a fantastic evening. Thank you, mods, members, new members, everyone involved in the chat. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a fantastic evening. And yeah, tomorrow I'm sure we'll bring even more speculation and news. Hopefully a little bit more concrete as well. But yeah, we'll be all over it either way. See you later.